Hello my dear friends, you're on the Military Summary channel and today we will discuss the situation in Ukraine on the 29th of July. Today we have a lot of very interesting and a lot of tragic updates, so let's start. And first we're going to start with the situation near the town by the name of Olenivka. This one. This town is located on the south of Donetsk, the capital of DPR. This town is located on the north from Mariupol. This town. If we zoom a little bit, this is this area. As you can see, there is a wall, two walls around this town. So this is a prison. This is the prison where the Ukrainian forces from Mariupol were located after they surrendered. It's a prison. There are a lot of places where the Ukrainians were placed in DPR. All of the prisoners from Mariupol is on the territory of DPR. Not all of them are there. There are a lot of prisons in this area. And this morning, there was a rocket attack. And as a result of that attack, around 53 prisoners were killed. And more than 100 prisoners were wounded. There was a lot of different videos and pictures of that terrible vision, of course. And of course, now we have two different opinions, two different explanations from both sides about the situation. If we're talking about the Ukrainians, they're saying that the Russians attacked this prison by themselves. So this prison is located on the territory of DPR. And the Ukrainians are saying that the Russians attacked their own territory, the territory of their ally, and destroyed these hangars with the prisoners. And the main idea of that attack was that the Russians were trying to hide the evidence of torture of Ukrainians in this prison. We know that the Azov battalion soldiers is located in this prison. This is National Battalion. Of course, this battalion the soldiers of that battalion had a lot of sins in the past. There was a lot of confirmation of the fact that these soldiers killed a lot of Russian soldiers. Furthermore, this battalion was located in Mariupol, and of course, during the storm of Mariupol, the Russians had a lot of losses, and mainly because of this battalion. So, of course, we can say that there is a reason why the Allied forces of DPR and Russia in this area might have reason to torture the Ukrainians Azov battalion, and to hide this torture, they decided, according to the Ukrainian sources, to destroy this prison. Hard to believe, of course, but it's the version of the Ukrainian side. If you're talking about the Russian sources, they're saying that these prisoners start to talk. They talk a lot, and they talk much, and they gave a lot of information. Let's say, for example, some of these prisoners, and there was a lot of videos about this on the internet, started saying that they got a lot of orders from Kiev while they were sitting in Mariupol, and also they confirmed, these Azov battalion forces who was located in Olenivka, that they got orders from very top officials, top authorities, to torture the Russians, to kill the Russian soldiers in this area, and so on. So that's why the Russians, not even the Russians, but DPR authorities, are saying that that was the reason why the Ukrainians decided to attack this area and to kill those Azov soldiers, just to force them to close their mouths. If you're talking about the Russian authorities, they didn't give any report about that. They just mentioned this situation in their military report, and they just gave us the number that around 53 soldiers were killed during this attack, and more than 100 is wounded. So this is very interesting situation, and to tell the truth, I don't know what to say, because the Ukrainian version is very, I would say, hard to believe, because why the Russians need to shell this area, If they wanted to kill these soldiers, they would do this without doing this attack with HIMARS. If we're talking about this area, and the Russians provided some evidence, and they provided the pieces of HIMARS rocket, so saying that this area was attacked by the HIMARS. I have my own understanding of this situation, not just understanding, I have another option, another reason what did happen there, and today with my patrons we will discuss this situation. But there is another important thing about this attack on the Olenivka prison. Now, of course, this update is shocked people all over the world about this attack of these armless people and so on. But if you know, during this week there was another update from the front lines, and according to that update, there was a video about that the Russian soldier castrated the Ukrainian soldier, and the Russian soldier made a video of that, and maybe you saw this video. The Russian sources are saying that, of course, it's a fake update, it's a fake news, and the Ukrainians are saying that the Russians first tortured the Ukrainian and then they castrated him. The Russians are saying that the Ukrainians did this video, prepared this video, especially before the beginning of the counteroffensive operation in the south. They're saying that with this video, the Ukrainians were trying to make their forces angry, because they see this video, how the Ukrainian soldier was castrated by the Russians, and of course it might make some effect on them, and of course with some being angry, they can be more effective during the offensive operation in the south. And there was a lot of discussion about that during this week. It was some kind of a media shock, and today there was another update about this attack on Olenivka prison, and now the Russians are saying that the Ukrainians attacked their own soldiers from Azov, trying to shut them, to close their mouths. So this is the situation, and as I can see, so let's follow this situation. Maybe sooner or later we are going to understand who to believe. Now let's talk about the front line, and now let's talk about, to be more precise, let's talk about the report of Ministry of Defense of Russian Federation. Today they gave us a lot of very interesting updates, and first one was that the Russians during the previous hours attacked this 13th mechanized brigade, this one, and they didn't attack this area. They attacked area of the location of their reserves, and as a result of that attack, they didn't give us the number, but they told us, the Russian Ministry of Defense, that as a result of that attack, this brigade, 13th mechanized brigade, lost combat capability. I can't explain what does it mean, but I suppose that the losses of this brigade is very high, and maybe more than 50%. As you can see, this brigade is located in the south, in the area of Ugldarska power plant. This area was under protection of two brigades, 72nd Mechanized and 13th Mechanized Brigade, and some forces from National Battalion. And as you can see, during the previous week, the Russians were hunting this 72nd Mechanized Brigade, trying to reduce this brigade as much as possible. And starting this week, starting today, they changed their focus and starting hunting the 13th Mechanized Brigade. As far as I understand, according to the timing, it's soon, maybe this week, maybe the beginning of the next week, it's the time of rotation. And because of the fact that this 13th Mechanized Brigade lost their forces that were in reserve, lost those guys who should change the guys on the zero line, that means that maybe very soon we're going to see entire collapse of the south, because I don't think that the forces from 13th Mechanized Brigade are going to stand there till the last Ukrainian. It's their right to have some rotation and to go back to have some rest and so on. So I suppose that this south of Bakhmut is under very heavy shelling. The Ukrainians forced to reduce there heavily. So I suppose that soon we are going to see the entire collapse of this area. Another updates are coming from the north, from this 57th Mechanized Motorized Brigade, this one. The Russians attack the reserves of this brigade as well. They didn't give us numbers again, but they noted that as a result of that attack, this brigade has critical losses. I also don't know what does mean critical losses, but I suppose that it's something, it's the same like the brigade lost its combat capability. So I suppose that the losses of reserves of this 57th motorized brigade also is more than 50%. Maybe it's some kind of speculation from my side. But anyway, as I see, it's also a time of rotation, and these forces, and as you can see, this 57th brigade is located in the back. That means that it's some kind of reserves for the forces located on the zero line to change them, to help them, to reinforce them. But because of that losses, they're no longer able to help these forces, and I suppose that this attack, the main goal of this attack was to weaken the middle part and to force this area to collapse as well. So as you can see, the Russians changed their target. Now they're trying to reduce the reserves of these forces. So I suppose that soon we are going to see the entire collapse of this area for many reasons. More updates are coming from the middle part, from Artyomovsk, Soledar, from this area. If you take a look at the Russian sources map, you're going to see that there was some attack on the school. I suppose that soon we are going to see some updates. The Russians destroyed this school number 14. This school was reduced to ruins, and according to the Russian sources, there was some military base of the Ukrainians. If we take a look at the West sources map, you're going to see they show us very nice the places where the heaviest clashes are, between Soledar and Strypovka, between Yakovlevka and Strypovka. There is one icon in the middle of Soledar, but I suppose that they wanted to show the battle in Bakhmutska. But the main clashes right now is for this plant. It's Knauf plant, this one, this building. If we take a look at this map, this is the plant, this construction. So the Russians are planning to storm this area, and they're, because of the fact they control some part of Bakhmutska, some part of area between Strypovka and Novokamenka. So that's why they're storming this area. This is a very nice position, because if you take a look at the West source map, you're going to see that this plant is located between two rivers. And the Russians don't need to cross anything, they just need to attack in the front, try to establish control over this area, and they are able to do this. And as soon as they do this, they are able to establish some fortification, and they will be able to cut Bakhmutska entirely from support. And this will allow the Russians to continue their offensive operation from Pokrovska towards Bakhmutska. And by taking Bakhmutska, of course, this entire area on this side of the river, the north part of Charlie Group will be cut from the Bakhmut area. So I suppose that also very soon we are going to see the entire collapse of this small plant between two rivers. Now let's talk about Donetsk. We got a lot of updates during the previous days about some offensive operation that the Russians were pushing, that there were very heavy clashes in the suburbs of Avdiivka, in Peski, in Krasnogorovka, in Marinka, but we didn't got any improvements, video or map updates and so on. The only thing I got yesterday that the Russians established control over this small mine, this one. If you take a look at the Russian sources map, it's not a very big construction, this one, but anyway, this is something. And from this area, the Russians established some fortifications there, and now they are able maybe to do something. It's not very much, they have taken not very much, and according to some reports that the Russians announced that they managed to cross from their original position just around 1.5 kilometers. And there was some update on the map, and I suppose that for now the Russians control something like this. All over the front line they just managed to move a little bit, and that's it that they managed to do. And the same situation on this front line as well. So they just managed to push a little bit the Ukrainians, and now this area that I marked with the blue cloud is under the Russians. If we are talking about the area between Peski and Avdiivka, there is no updates according to the Russian sources. So it's very difficult to pass this area, because if you see all these blue markers, it's a big trenches. These positions are very fortified by the Ukrainians, and to crack this net is not a very easy job. But we'll see what will follow. Another important update we got from the Ukrainians, there was some information that the Ukrainians it might be some kind of speculation, I don't know, I can't tell you exactly, but there was some talks from the Ukrainians, from the locals, that some military sources are spreading such rumors that maybe in 4 weeks the Ukrainians are going to stop this conflict and to finish this war. By surrendering, of course. I don't think that it might be, but it's rumors, so I think that we also should discuss this. Maybe something like this is going to happen, because as we can see, and mainly the Ukrainians are planning to surrender not because of the fact that they're losing the frontline battle, not because of that. The main reason why they're surrendering because they don't understand how they're going to survive this winter. Their economy is ruined. There are a lot of losses. They didn't do anything with the agricultural sector of economy this year, and they don't have gas, and they don't have nothing to do to be on the safe side during this winter. So this was the reason. This is some kind of rumors that we have right today in Ukraine, or why they think that maybe in a few weeks they're going to surrender at all. So let's see, let's follow. And that's it for today. Military Summer channel will remind you that we condemn any violence in Ukraine. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good weekend. Bye bye.